Our next question comes from our friend Logan, who says, how would you recommend going into an MMA career right out of high school? Ooh. My gut wrench reaction is don't, but and the reason I say that is because an MMA career is a really, really, really rough way to try to make a living. Most professional fighters work other jobs. They're not paying the bills with MMA. So right out of high school, don't think of MMA as a career. You can think of it as a step toward a career in combat sports, future fighting, coaching, whatever. But don't think of entry-level MMA as a career, because it's not going to pay your bills. It's not. There are a few guys in MMA who are making a lot of money. Very few. And historically, yeah, MMA has not paid very much at all. So, yeah, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but I would say, and I'll say this to everybody who asks about not just fighting, but also YouTube. I get a lot of questions about YouTube, like, how do I become a famous YouTube star? Luck. Success on YouTube is largely based on luck. Yeah, you have to have content that people actually want to watch, or they won't come back to see it. But there are some really great channels out there, some very talented people that nobody is watching. Why not? For the simple reason that they haven't appeased the YouTube gods or whatever it is you have to do to get lucky enough to get your content promoted. So whether it's fighting or YouTube or whatever other pipe dream you have, if you are putting all of your eggs in that one basket and you have no other source of revenue, you're probably going to get screwed. Statistically speaking, you're going to lose that bet. It's like playing the lottery, man. You might win if you're really, really lucky, but you probably won't. So make sure you have a reliable source of income. Make sure you have a job. Make sure you have an education to fall back on. Man, for people asking this question, I would refer them to my friend Kyle Rozewski. Man, he gets passionate when people ask him questions like this. I had a conversation with him recently, and he was like, oh man, these young kids, they don't know what it's like. I had to claw my way up. I had to, scrimp and save and starve and all this stuff to be able to train. And I get it, man. When I was fighting professionally, I was working 3 jobs. Man, 3 jobs to pay the bills. When I opened up my first gym back in the US, when I opened up my first gym there, and I was working multiple jobs at the same time to pay the bills, that gym and professional fighting on top of it, no, they weren't paying the bills. That was this thing I really loved to do, and I wanted to keep doing, and it felt really important that I keep doing it. But at the same time, you have to feed yourself and your family at the end of the day. If you can't take care of you and yours, man, fix that. So right out of high school, yeah, set some goals. I'm not saying don't be an MMA fighter. Absolutely not. If that's what you want to do, do it. Be the best MMA fighter you possibly can be. But don't limit yourself to that. MMA is a candle. The life of a professional fighter is a candle that burns very hot and very quick. And if that's all you got, when it's done, if that's all you had, when it's done, that's a rude awakening. I remember taking a taxi ride here in Shanghai. And the driver was this older gentleman. And in the front of the car, he had a picture of himself as a younger man. A picture of himself, and he was a boxer. He was standing there with a title belt, with his arm raised in victory. Very proud of this achievement that he had. And I'm looking at him. He's a cab driver now. And that's a noble profession. People need to get places. That's fine, right? But I don't think that's what he dreamed of as a younger man. When he had his hand raised in victory, holding that title belt, feeling like the champion of the world. You got to have a game plan, not just for when you go in the cage, but you got to have that game plan for when you get out. Get a notebook. Write some stuff down. Write down your goals. Write down how you plan to achieve those. It's not enough simply to write, this is what I want to do. That's magical thinking. Magical thinking is thinking that you can will things into existence. You don't will things into existence. You work them into existence. So write down what you want to accomplish, and then write down how you're going to work to make that happen. Emphasis on the work. Quite a few people ask me, Ramsey, how do I get motivated? I'm not motivated. And I came at them with that adage, forget motivation, be disciplined. And they asked me, well, how do I get disciplined? And the answer is work. You work for it. Put in the work. Thanks for watching. Now get out there and train.